Dominate, dominate, dominate. I think you need to give me a little confession.
Hi, I'm Charles Stier. This is CherryValleyMusic.com, and we're here in these series of full-length feature films for the internet to talk about guitar fundamentals. These aren't full-length movies? Okay, don't worry. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the body of the guitar and our bodies, because the body of the guitar in relationship to your body is very important about how you hold it, about for comfort, about for style, speed, and for general relaxation of playing. This is a steel string acoustic guitar that you can play almost any kind of music on, and it's got a pretty wide body, a fairly narrow neck, and what we want to be able to do is to hold this at an angle where everything is relaxed. Now, we're all different. We're taller, we're shorter, we're rounder. As the decades roll on, we're rounder yet. There are certainly women who have certain enhancements and assets that others don't have, and these are real, need to be taken, well, yes, of course they're real, but they need to be taken into account. So whatever the case, and whatever kind of guitar you play, and we're going to look at a lot of varieties of guitar in this video, you've got to find a place where your body is relaxed in relationship to the instrument. Now, one of the first things to think about is posture, and the left shoulder, and the relationship with the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, and the hand. Now, we're all made with this beautiful musculature curve here, and that's the most relaxed position of the hand, and for almost all instruments, that's the correct way to play. That you can come in here, that you're supporting the instrument with your deltoid, with your upper arm, and you're not trying to hold the guitar and play the guitar at the same time. Your upper body is actually holding the guitar and the strap, and your hands and wrists are then free to move smoothly to play whatever you're going to play. Most people who come to Cherry Valley Music Studio who have problems with technique on the guitar is that their left elbow is jammed up against their left side, and their left hand looks like this almost all the time, that it's all jammed up. Sometimes this comes from just tension, and certainly it comes from tension, but sometimes it comes from improper places of practicing. Like if you're in your big couch or your lazy boy chair and you're leaning back and practicing like this inside the arms of the chair, you naturally have a position like this while you're relaxing, and then when you try and come up to normalcy and play, you're all jammed up. So one of the things that I suggest is always playing in a kitchen chair, in a straight back chair, on a stool, something where you have a natural posture. You're sitting up straight, you're standing, we'll talk about that in a minute, but whatever the case, your body is free to play the guitar and not so much to be holding the guitar. Now, before we go on, I want to talk about different styles of music, different styles of guitar. You'll see through the remainder of this video that we're going to have a lot of different kinds of guitars, and some of us have many different kinds of guitars that we play on. Steel string guitars, electric guitars, jazz guitars, and for each of these, we've got to find a level of comfort and a level of relaxation that allows us to express ourselves naturally and healthily, so that there's no musculature or carpal tunnel or problems develop with the hands in a lifetime of playing. A classical guitar, nylon strings, wide body, thick neck, and wide neck. This is really an extremely different kind of guitar than an acoustic string guitar. Also, the main thing to notice is no neck strap. There's no way to support this except with your body. Now you can see my right knee is up. It's because my foot, which you can't see, is on a pedestal holding this up. A lot of people who play classical style guitars, no matter whether they're playing jazz on them or folk or classical music, have a little footstool that they travel with. And I have some friends who have in their practice studios telephone books that are stacked together, two telephone books, and duct taped together to give themselves a nice, wide, thick footrest for guitar. Because you've got to get this guitar up. You can't hold this guitar and play it. You've got to find a way for your body to play that. Now, we've talked about the left arm, the left hand and wrist. Let's talk a little bit about the right arm, shoulder, and wrist. Most people, when they start to play guitar, are pretty tight. They're trying to hold a guitar, they've got it in some sort of death grip like their pick, and they're trying to play. This is very, very detrimental to the sound, because all acoustic instruments, whether they're guitars or violins, clarinets, anything, are made to vibrate. And what you want to really do is to hold them as little as possible so that they can vibrate as much as possible. Listen to this when I play this chord and then apply pressure with my right arm. You can just choke the life out of an instrument with too much tension in your right hand. So with a relaxed right shoulder, strengthen the upper part of your arm, which is then allowing your forearm, wrist, and hand to be relaxed. That's what we're looking for on any kind of guitar style, and especially with acoustic guitars. Now, we're going to be playing a lot of different guitars today in a lot of different styles, and as I want to say, it's really your body in relationship to the body of the guitar, and you've got to find the comfortable position for that. Your best friend in this is a full-length mirror, or a mirror that you place on your music stand in front of you so that you can see yourself, be able to evaluate your own sense of tightness or looseness or relaxation, and your eyes will tell you. You'll know, and you'll also feel better when you're in the most proper posture and position for playing any style of guitar. Here we have a hollow body, arch top electric guitar, mostly used in jazz. And for that, again, you can see we have a really wide body, but a very beautifully thin neck and a narrow neck. And for that, for myself, I like the guitar to be riding higher on this for me, because that way I can see, and it allows my hands to get to more extended chords that I'm going to need in jazz playing. The reason that I like this guitar a little higher on the strap and with a really comfortable strap is that it's a little heavier than acoustic guitars. This allows for comfort on my shoulder, and I can see the chords and get to them with a little more visual acuity than I can with other guitars. It's also important to mention that this guitar can be played acoustically, but as you can see, we have one humbucking pickup on this, and you can hear it's now being played through an amplifier. Okay, we're moving into rock and roll and blues, and we've got a very hip, what's called a semi-hollow body electric guitar. As you can see, it's hollow, and it's really thin. So it's a thin line guitar with what are called double cutaways so that the hand can get up in here. And now we're starting to see that the neck for these kind of guitars is really starting to elongate. If you look on your own guitar, the classical guitar, the acoustic guitar, pretty much the neck and the accessibility to the neck stops here at the octave at the double dot, which is the halfway length of the string. Now with these guitars, you see we're able to move a lot higher, sometimes almost an octave higher, but that means that to go all the way down to the left end towards the nut, the hand and the arm is starting to have to extend out. So that's going to also create a different position for this. Because it's a electric guitar, it's got a solid block of wood coming down into here to prevent feedback, but it's also making the guitar heavier. So this guitar, which is a light electric guitar, is starting to get quite a bit heavier. This is a classic rock and roll guitar. This is a Gibson Les Paul Standard, and if you're playing one of these things, you're standing up. It's also really heavy, and so it's certainly for the young and for the strong. But as you can see, both stylistically and for the way it feels, it really feels better and plays better down here in the classic rock and roll stance. Now, even though I'm down here playing, I certainly can't see the fretboard, but I can feel it, I can see it by the dots on the side, and at the same time, my hand is still at an appropriate, comfortable place, as is the right hand. Enough said. Here's a pretty cool and really extreme electric guitar. As you can see, the body style is cool and wild. It's also really a low rider here, and the neck is really long. Long this way, and it is heavy, but it is fun to play. But again, you got to find a place where your hand feels good, Your shoulder feels good, the weight is balanced against your body where it feels good for you, and you can make music. And last but not least, the gentle little ukulele. It's not just for Hawaiians anymore. We love it here at the Cherry Valley Music Studio. Teach it here in our exercises and etudes section. You'll find a great big fingering chart for ukulele. And as you may or may not know, for example, such great guitarists like George Harrison of the Beatles always had a uke with him someplace, wrote a lot of songs, started, composed a lot of songs on uke while he was just traveling around. And the best part about it is you can't be sad playing a uke. So that's it. That's the overview of the guitar body and against your body, how to play naturally, how to play in a relaxed manner on all different styles of guitar makes. I'm Charles Stier. This is CherryValleyMusic.com. We'll see you next time.